What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video for today. This video is gonna be a little different than the others that I typically like to upload on the channel. I like to have a little bit of variety going on here. I'm gonna give my thoughts and opinions of Money in the Bank that happened this past Saturday. The recording of this video will be Sunday, the day after, the day of NXT Heatwave. I will be checking that out momentarily, but in this video we will be checking. You guys will be seeing my thoughts and opinions of the show. That's me, in my opinion. Top to bottom, this show was. It was good. It was great. It was a good show, but a predictable show. And I'm gonna get to that very soon in this video. Let's go ahead and hop right into the video so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about here. We kick the show off with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. That being Jey Uso being the first entrant to come out. That entrance is cool. Jey Uso is probably he probably has the best entrance right now alone in WWE in terms of like getting the crowd involved and all that, them starting to now dim the lights with everyone holding their flashlights up in the air, getting everyone involved. That was a nice little way to start the show off. This was a really good match. I liked it. I feel like it was a perfect starter match. However, because this show put this match on first, I immediately knew Drew was winning, and I'm going to get to that right now. So Drew did, in fact, win the Money in the Bank contract. My thing that I had, and I probably should have made a video on it prior to the show, like my predictions, which I probably should start doing. But Drew, I knew if they had this match on first, it would make sense for Drew to win. Drew winning only meant that later on he was going to cash in like he said he was. But ultimately, we will get to what happened. I will say in this match from top to bottom, everybody did look good. Gable had a lot of nice spots. Melo and Andrade, they did that reverse Spanish fly off the middle. I want to say the middle rope onto a ladder. That looked like a pretty gruesome spot. Hopefully Andrade's okay. I heard he got hurt, or maybe like he hit his leg or something. I would have to watch the show back. The pop for LA Knight, per usual, is going to be massive, as he is still very much so over it. Maybe not as over as he was last year around this time, because last year around this time he was ultimately hands down the favorite to win this whole thing. But he still got a pretty damn good reaction. As a matter of fact, no, I take my statement back. LA Knight is still pretty damn over. Melo, I feel like this match was really good for Melo, as this is gonna put more eyes on him. So I feel like putting guys like Breaker and Melo in a PLE is gonna be the thing that takes them to the next level, in my opinion. But yeah, like I said, I feel like Drew winning I feel like we all expected Drew to win. Obviously, everybody had their little picks, like Gable will go over and all that. I'm surprised the Wyatt Sits didn't come out. I feel like that would have been a pretty damn good spot if Gable was getting ready to grab the briefcase and then the Wyatts came out, but they didn't. That's okay though. I guess that'll just be something exclusive that they do on Monday Night Raw. But all in all though, I did expect Drew McIntyre to win. He did win. Let's get into the next match that happened. Next up, we have a Intercontinental Championship bout between Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker. I will say, if you tuned into NXT before Breaker got called up, if you've seen the very start of his run there, and then you go all the way to now and you watch this match, Breaker has improved tremendously. He's good at what he does. I feel like he can play the babyface role, he can play the heel role, but I feel like Breaker should have one of those characters to where it doesn't matter. He's just there to just break somebody in half. No metaphoric terms there, but he's just there to break somebody in half and just win, and that is it. Sammy ended up going over. Did I expect that? I thought they'd give it to Breaker here, but I do see Breaker getting a rematch at some point for this. It was a pretty good match, feel good moment. They were in Canada, so I thought maybe they'll just throw it on Braun, maybe give him a little heat leaving the building. But like I said, this was not a bad match at all. The match had "This is awesome" chants. Everybody top to bottom, this was a pretty good match. If I had to rate this match out of 10, I'll give it a solid 7.5 out of 8, or no, 7.5 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. I would say leaning more so towards the 8 out of 10 range. If you did not watch the pay-per-view or the PLE, I'm sorry, you need to check this match out, because that match is tough. Something very notable to add on right before we go to the next match: Braun Breaker does have new entrance theme. All I'm gonna say is Def Rebel. You guys in the comments know, if you know Def Rebel, you know that they just don't know what they're doing. probably the most talked about segment that's probably going to come out of this whole entire premium live event for the weekend, or really just WWE or the world of sports right now. I'm pretty sure it's trending everywhere. I haven't really looked, but I'm sure it's trending everywhere. John Cena, he came out as a surprise appearance. Trish Stratus is the host of Money in the Bank, and she announced that, you know, Cena's here. The 16-time world champion is here. He runs down to the ring, you know, but right before he does that, I remember watching it live. I'm sorry, guys, I couldn't really upload my reactions, you know, to that, because, you know, I will get copyright and I will get banned for that. He held his little, whatever you want to call it, let's just say towel. He held his towel up and it said, "The last time is now." And I remember seeing that live and I'm like, yo, like, what do you mean the last time is now? Like, huh? So he runs down to the ring, he grabs a mic, he just gets straight to the point. He says, "Hey, like, I'm announcing my retirement." But he goes into detail. I thought right then and there that was gonna be it. I thought maybe somebody was gonna cut him off, but no one cut him off. He said in 2025, he will be there for the very first Raw, on the Netflix deal. He will be there for Elimination Chamber, the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Las Vegas, and he said afterwards, excuse me, guys. He said afterwards during the post show that he will be also doing more events leading towards the end of 2025, you know. This was really sad for the wrestling community, you know. Yeah, we know we've all obviously had our love-hate relationship for John Cena, but there's no doubt that we all can respect the work and the time that he's put into this business. And by all means, like, he is obviously he's a Hall of Famer. By no means. This is really sad. I mean, you know, I really grew up really big on John Cena. I feel like a lot of people now are speculating, okay, building up to this final run that we're gonna get with John Cena, who is he gonna be feuding with? Who is he gonna be, like, you know, having these promo segments with? Who is gonna be ultimately the last person to wrestle John Cena? And will that person ultimately go over? You know, a lot of people think Randy Orton, as he is still very much so active in the WWE, in the wrestling community, in the wrestling business, excuse me. Does it make sense for Randy to take this spot? Yes and no, because I can definitely, if we all know John Cena how we say we know John Cena, they're probably gonna give this opportunity to a young talent to make a name for themselves, and it'll probably be a heel, maybe not, and they'll go over. And, you know, just imagine the heat that somebody like, how about Carmelo Hayes? Now, I'm not saying it should be Carmelo Hayes that wrestled Cena in his last match, but just imagine the heat that Melo would get. He has that on his resume. Like, hey, like, I took out John Cena for good. Like, that's gonna put Melo up here, like on some Dom Mysterio level heat. Nah, nobody's gonna ever have Dom level heat. Next up, we have Damian Priest versus Seth freaking Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championships with higher stakes. If Damian Priest loses this match, he will in fact be removed from the Judgment Day. And if Seth Rollins were to lose, he will never challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship as long as Damian Priest is the holder of the title. This happened before the match. Something a little notable to add in there, but the Judgment Day were indeed backstage. They were in the building, and, you know, before they played like the promo package and rolled everything out, and Priest got out there and Seth got out there, Priest had a conversation with the Judgment Day backstage in the clubhouse or whatever you will call it, and pretty much told them, hey, stay back here, I got this. I better not see nobody back there. And as he walked away, Finn just made this look. At some point, we're gonna get a feud between these two, but that's gonna be in a future video that I talk about. Let's talk about the match right now. I will say, watching this match, something did feel missing, but I feel like Drew McIntyre coming out the casting added that must-see important element to it. I don't know. It's because, like, let's say it's that predictability again that I was telling you guys earlier in the video. I feel like that I'm not gonna say the match is ruined. The match was still a good match. It's just, I don't know. It's like, I feel like Damian Priest couldn't really have his moment in this match, given the circumstances that follows. Like him and Seth, they were having a pretty decent, good back and forth. And when Drew came out, you can see the difference in the dynamic of the crowd, because that's what they're waiting for. Because that's what Drew said. Drew said, "Hey, I'm gonna win that briefcase and I'm leaving Toronto with the title." So it's like we all saw that coming. However, did you really think like 2 weeks ago when Drew laid out CM Punk on SmackDown that CM Punk just was gonna go for that? Absolutely not. He flew across the border. In quick CM Punk fashion, he lays out Drew McIntyre, smashes him multiple times with a steel chair. I don't care what anyone you say. Like Damian Priest, like the South to Heaven choke slam is one of my favorite moves right now. I don't know why, but it's just so clean. But you can even see it in Damian Priest's face. Now, I mean, now that's just probably just him, you know, doing what he does best. And, you know, being an actor, being in the wrestling business, like selling the fact that he had to win once again with assistance. And, you know, and I feel like that's really going to be the anchor that's going to hold this title reign down. Damian Priest is a fantastic worker, you know, and he's a lot of people are going to discredit this loss, but it's like at this point, this isn't even about the Judgment Day getting involved. This is now Drew McIntyre, Seth, and CM Punk are just in the way of making this a really good title reign. And now he has to face Gunther going into SummerSlam. And let's be honest, Gunther, this is going to be a good match. Gunther's winning that championship, and I am all for it. Something that is very, 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 very small. Some people may call it a small detail, and maybe I really don't, but something to note that happened after the match. After CM Punk stood tall on the announce table, after he calls Drew yet again the World Heavyweight Championship, Seth Rollins is pissed at CM Punk because CM Punk technically also cost Seth Rollins a future opportunity at the World Heavyweight Championship, at least until Priest drops the belt. And that doesn't sit well with Seth Rollins. And if you watch the behind the curtain WrestleMania documentary that is on YouTube right now, the original plan was in fact Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. And now Seth Rollins is not going to forget the fact that CM Punk just cost him the World Heavyweight Championship technically as well. So I feel like now this is going to play into a part where at SummerSlam, what does that look like between the three of these men? Because it's like, are we going to get Drew and CM Punk there? They did announce Bad Blood. Bad Blood, I will assume, will be replacing Hell in the Cell. So we know Drew and Punk, that's a lock. That's going to be there regardless. But where does Seth Rollins fits in SummerSlam? What is Seth Rollins' SummerSlam plans? What does he have going on? But that's what Monday Night Raw is going to determine, because all three of those guys that I just named are going to be on Monday Night Raw on this coming up Monday. So we're going to see how things play out there. I would say this match really left a lot of speculation, I would say. So I feel like we have to really just keep watching the show weekly to see how these things play out. You know, I get them wanting to use the briefcase to enhance the feud, you know, because Drew once again had another opportunity and Punk ruined it. But I don't know. It's just something that just doesn't sit well with me. You guys let me know. It just doesn't sit well with me knowing that they kind of just threw away the briefcase like that. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. A woman's Money in the Bank ladder match. Let me tell y'all something. I'm going to rewatch this match, and if I had to give a solid grade out of this match, I would probably give it an 8.5 or a 9 out of 10. This match is really good. I like this match. This match had a lot of spots. Everybody looked like $1 million to me, and this is really one of those matches where multiple people could win and you would not be upset about it. And I'm going to get into that right now. Chelsea Green, ever since she qualified for this match to begin with, maybe a little before that, she's starting to get over. I noticed it. Obviously, the fans all around the world are starting to notice it, and they're picking up on it, and she's getting weekly crowd reactions every time her music hits and she goes out there. She's really over. And I thought personally she was going to get the briefcase here, only because to me, it's like, if you look at her story, look at the fact that she was in WWE prior to this current run that she's in now. She got hurt. She got released during COVID. And then to come back and pretty much have a title opportunity in her hand like that, like a money in the bank briefcase, is something that really would have like been such a feel good moment for the hardcore wrestling fan who really pays attention to everything and all the small details that happens outside of WWE. But ultimately, they end up giving it to Tiffany Stratton. I'm damn sure not upset with that at all. I think she deserves it. I think she has been over the moment she got drafted to Friday Night SmackDown to begin with. And this is probably the most perfect person to put the briefcase on. Tiffy in the bank, I think that's what they're calling it. This is good. This is good. That's money. She's going to, I think she said in the press conference, I don't know if they're actually going to let her do it. She said she wants to bedazzle the briefcase and all the other stuff and wear it like a purse. It's perfect. She's the perfect person to hold this briefcase. Notable spots in the match. I want to say it was Io Sky and Zoe Stark. She hit her with like, I don't even know what you would call it, but they were on the top of the ladder and she slams Zoe Stark on the top of her head to the ladder, and the ladder fell. It was pretty gruesome. One of the craziest spots in the match to me. What I love about this match, everybody got their own personal run. Everybody got their own personal time to shine here. Zoe Stark doing what she does best with ladders. Lyra Valkyria, who had a pretty damn good entrance, by the way. The crowd was really behind her as well. But, you know, the nasty spots that she was taking, Chelsea Green, Tiffany Stratton, all that good stuff. Naomi killed it in this match, bro. This, like, I'm telling y'all, watch this match. This match is going to be nuts. We got the new bloodline. Got Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga, accompanied by Tonga Loa, which we all knew this was gonna eventually come into a 3-on-4 scheme here, versus WWE champ Cody Rhodes, KO, and Randy Orton. This match, once the ref got hurt, it turned this match upside down. Let me just go ahead and just say this now. Jacob Fatu is the perfect fit for World Wrestling Entertainment. And I've always believed this personally, but now that he's actually here, like, bro, like, he has everything. He has the look, he has the determination, he has the discipline. He has it all. And I would say probably one of the MVPs of this match is probably Jacob Fatu. All in all, solid match though. I would give it a cool 8 out of 10. I like this match because I like what it did for this match, because I feel like for Solo to reach the heights, the level, and accomplish the things that Roman Reigns has done as the tribal chief, he has to, you know, take out the top guy on SmackDown. Unfortunately, Solo Sikoa is not the top guy on SmackDown yet, but the heat that Solo got in this match was ridiculous. Like, everybody was chanting "F you Solo" every single time he was tagged in at one point. That's good. That is good work. Now, people are gonna criticize it. People are gonna say no, Solo is boring. People are gonna say the bloodline is boring. I'm telling y'all, this is going to age like fine wine. If we all be patient, I am trying to tell you, this Solo and Roman Reigns feud, if The Rock is in it, if he's not in it, like, I'm telling you, this is all going to work out at some point. Ultimately, the bloodline does end up winning this match, but the important thing that I wanted to note was that, obviously, due to, I wouldn't really call it shenanigans, because it's a 6-man tag. The ref got hurt. Disqualifications wasn't really I guess a factor for real, because, you know, the ref was down, but Solo pinned Cody Rhodes. You can only assume with Solo pinning Cody Rhodes, this is gonna shoot him straight up the ladder in the ranks on SmackDown. And we might be looking at our SummerSlam main event right there. And Solo is being booked very strong right now. And I like that. I really like that, because there needs to be a dynamic shift once Roman gets back. Because Roman most likely will be back at SummerSlam. And when he does come back, that needs to change the whole aspect going into WrestleMania 41. Because this is going to be the real start of how everything works. Because ever since WrestleMania 40 ended, the seed was planted right there when The Rock came out to Cody Rhodes and said, hey, your story, Roman Reigns, is over, but our story has just begun. I feel like this is all things leading up to that ultimate match. Maybe. I have to say, I really like what they're doing with Solo right now. It's really good. It's good television. It's good heel heat. It's good everything that you can, you know, really put on top of it. Him saying Roman Reigns was not man enough to beat Cody Rhodes, and I mean, Solo just pinned Cody Rhodes, you know, and it's just, this is really, really good. And I think this is going, like, I like that this match right here sets the tone for the main event of SummerSlam next month, and I cannot wait to see how that plays out. All in all though, like top to bottom, this was a pretty darn good pay-per-view. I do highly recommend, if you have not seen it on Peacock or however you watch your PLEs, you should definitely find a way to watch it. But yeah, by all means, let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the show. Did you think the show was good? What would you rate it out of 10? What grade would you give it on a grade level scale? I'm going to say it was a solid B+. B plus straight, B plus. I was gonna say straight B, but nah, like, I'm gonna say B+. This was a pretty darn good show. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you like, subscribe if you're brand new. I will be dropping more videos in the coming weeks. Appreciate you guys for 200 subscribers. You have no idea what that means to me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.